All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Benjamin Breaker SC2 Novotny, and alongside me is ArchonOrange. And he just got done casting the grand finals of the HWC APAC. How do you feel right now?
I'm very tired. I'm really happy that I got to do this. It's my first big casting job that I'm doing, and it's been amazing. But right now I'm really exhausted after 3 days of casting.
Wow, 3 days? It's been 3 days, like 3 days in front of a camera casting. So this started on Thursday, yesterday, today's Saturday, and it finally ended. Is that right?
Exactly. We casted 6 matches the first day, 4 matches the second, and now today we casted 3 matches.
Oh my God, I have got to quit my day job, and it's seriously starting to kill my attention span with what's going on in not only the global esports environment, but what's happening in my own backyard here in Taipei. All right, so first time casting, initial thoughts and closing thoughts. What did you think it would be before you gave it a shot, and now what would it be? What do you think of it now that it's over?
It might sound like a cliche, but this was actually a lot more fun than I expected it to be. The casting, I'm considering myself as a pro player. I want to be the best player I can be. And I've never really considered casting, but when Chris contacted me and wanted me as a co-caster for this, I thought, let's give it a try. I've been guest casting at events, just as a player, but you don't really have high expectations on you, and it's not very professional. But actually doing this on a professional level was way, way more fun than I expected it to be.
All right. So I kind of noticed earlier when I followed you on Twitter, you had less than 10,000 followers. So I mean, that's I don't know how that compares in comparison to your team's leader Amaz. But how about you give us an introduction to yourself and your history as a pro gamer, leading up to and the moment you joined Team Archon.
Hey, my name is ArchonOrange. I have less than 10,000 Twitter followers. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm just a 21-year-old Swedish guy. I played the card games since I was 12 when I played Magic the Gathering for several years. And from that, I got into Hearthstone from a friend of mine that said that, hey, this new card game has come out. I think you've been really good at it, and I started playing it. Then eventually, I played it for a year or so, and I was playing the open qualifiers, and at the November last year, I started just winning a lot of open qualifiers. In the span of 2 or 3 months, I think I won 4 or 5 open qualifiers and got to go to these big tournaments. And in 2 of the tournaments I qualified for, I won 2 of them. And from there, things kind of spiraled. I got signed for Archon, and right now I would consider myself someone that is a big name on the tournament scene.
All right, so tell us some of the greatest achievements you've had in your professional gaming career as a Hearthstone player.
My 2 greatest performances are the 2 majors I won. I won IEM Katowice 2015, Seed Story Cup 3. And now also just a week ago, actually, I won the ABIUS Grand Tournament Invitational. Have a second place in Blackrock Mountain Team Brawl. I have several, I think we're up to 10 or something right now, open qualifier wins, and just lots in the semifinal top 8 placements in different tournaments.
No wonder why you're giving me weird looks. I should know who the hell you are.
I'm not a big streamer. I'm trying to get more into streaming, but it's really hard traveling as much as I do. But a big part of being a big name in the Hearthstone scene is actually streaming a lot, and you cannot live off... You can, but it's really, really hard to live off only playing tournaments. So that's why a lot of people know who I am, but also I'm not as big as people like Amaz or Reynad.
Well, I mean, yeah, those guys, not only are they great players, they're also cult personalities. I can tell you're a funny guy, you're a humble guy, but you probably wouldn't say some of the things that they would. Well, not Amaz, but of course, well, I'm not saying Reynad's a bad guy, guys. I love watching his stream, I really do. Right. It's just that, how do I say this? Oh, forget about it. Reynad is a great guy. Amaz is a great guy. I'll edit this out.
Let's leave it at that.
Right. I'll edit this out. Because I've got nothing bad to say about either of those guys personally. Okay, so is this your first time to Taiwan?
Oh, it is. It's my third time in Asia, even. I've been to Thailand, Korea, and now Taiwan. And every time I go here, it's so amazing because everything is so different from Europe or North America. I've actually never been. I've been to Europe and North America, not to any other continents, but yeah, Asia, I guess. And it's just so different. Like the cities and everything when it comes to the actual like architecture is so different, and also the people are way more outgoing. I've noticed here in Asia than they are in, for example, Sweden or America.
All right. I also think that locals here are actually relatively kind, especially to foreigners.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think I've had a single unpleasant human interaction here during my time here in Taiwan or Korea.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I spent a semester there, and it can be a very cold place, but the people are quite heartwarming.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
All right, so let me think. Happiest day of your career? Give it to me.
Oh, happiest day of my career is definitely the day that Amas called me on Skype after I just won a qualifier and said that, hey, we are kind of interested in having you on Team Archon, because that was the start of this whole thing happening and had led me to where I am now. I still remember how happy I was when I heard him saying those words. It was so much happiness, because even since the team was formed, when it was just Firebad, Amas, and Hosty, I've always been looking to join that team, and him calling me himself without me even like saying that I'm interested, because I didn't know him well enough, I thought yet, and him calling me saying that, hey, could you please join Team Archon? We'd love to have you on the team. That was my greatest moment in my career so far.
All right, now it's time for the other side of the coin. What is the saddest day of your career?
Oh boy, let's go. My saddest day, it's been so amazing, like the time so far that I've had doing Hearthstone. Saddest day, I'm trying to think it's some like heart-crushing tournament Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I actually do. Very, very recently, I fell one game short of qualifying for what I've just casted, the Road to BlizzCon, but in Europe, due to life coach. I'm using his own words. I'm not using mine, because I don't like to use that. But in his own words, he got very, very, very lucky to beat me in the final game. It was a top-decked Emperor Tarzan on 6, and him having the exact combination of cards that he needed after already using several of his first copy of them on turn 8 to reverse lethal me when I had him dead the following turn. Having that Crusher BlizzCon Dreams was definitely the saddest I've ever been in my career.
Well, I mean, that's definitely something to put in your pipe and smoke, but I was on the ground at WEC 2014 when, if I am interpreting what Alchemist told me correctly, Tides of Time essentially pulled a double top deck to lethal his opponent and take him out of the tournament in what was the 5th and final game of that one over a year ago.
Oh yeah, that also sounds like one of the absolute a really, really sad moment, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I remember, it's one of those things that kind of sucks, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know what's worse, getting beaten out of a qualifier for what is essentially the world's greatest tournament for Hearthstone, or arguably the greatest tournament for Hearthstone, or coming in second prize at this or that tournament.
Coming second place in a big tournament is just that. It's just bad for that long. Like, you obviously will feel terrible for quite some while after that happens. But give it a couple of months, and you're like, I came in second place in that tournament. I did really good. But like losing in a qualifier, I don't think you'll ever you ever get the feeling of satisfaction with that.
All right. So, how many girls have asked you for your phone number since you got here? Because you're taller than me, your hair's longer than me, your nose is straighter than mine, and you're younger than me.
Can we leave that out of the interview?
What? Are you embarrassed, or are you trying not to show off? Because it's one or the other.
One of the two.
Come on, man. What am I going to say?
I'm being that guy. I'm being that guy now.
Okay. So he's the shy guy, ladies, just so you know back at home. Let me think. What? I don't know. Like, okay, let me press the vanity on you just a little bit, like I did with Papa Smithy back there. Okay, so what is one question that you've always wanted someone to ask you in an interview?
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, I haven't thought much of that. Am I just being the most boring guy ever right now saying I don't know?
All right. Okay, I like that. You're a pretty humble guy. You're not as narcissistic as some of us out here. Wink, wink. Myself. I'm just kidding. Right. So thoughts on, I mean, clearly from the get-go today, I mean, since yesterday was determining who was going to BlizzCon, and today was just determining who was getting the most money, essentially, we could still see like who was passionate about this and who was not. And I mean, I think there's some pride to be had in this tournament. It isn't just a qualifier to determine who's going to BlizzCon, but what would you say? Would you say there were any upsets in this tournament?
I was actually really surprised to see Kuno, who was now in the finals just against Kranich, to actually qualify, because when I saw him like in the first match he played pretty sloppy, and I have to be honest, I wasn't very impressed. But then he just improved during the entire tournament, got better and better throughout the tournament, and I was really happy to see him perform as well as he did. I also, just the biggest upset probably in the entire tournament was the decks that people brought, because in the NA and Europe, Road to BlizzCon, there have been a lot of just the standard lineup of Patron, Druid, Handlock, and almost every single pro player played that lineup, and that's what we expected going to this tournament. But in this tournament, we saw something like 2 or 3 Handlocks, and we saw only 2 Patron Warriors. We saw 8 Druids, which is like, okay, that's the one that was expected, but to see so many different Paladin decks, Mage decks, just the decks overall was very interesting.
All right, so we just got a cue from Papa Smithy telling us to wrap things up. So real quick, Orange, go ahead and give your fans some shout-outs where they can follow you, where they can pay attention to you, your stream link, everything. Tell them everything, throw them the kitchen sink, and just give us everything we want to know about you so that we can pay attention to you.
This is my favorite part when I get to go full sellout. Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter, which is probably the social media I use the most, at ArchonOrange. You can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/orange_HS. You can also follow me on Facebook. I think I have a Facebook page that I update not very frequently. It's also Orange HS, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, I want to shout out to all the people I met here. Like, shout out to you for having this interview with me, to Chris that brought me here in the first place, wanting me as his co-caster. I want to shout out to Team Archon and all our sponsors, G2A mainly. With that said, yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, Orange. We are going to see you guys a little bit later for the next whatever event that you guys are going to see me at. Bye. This is so awkward. Okay, you gotta get